As a die-hard Arsenal fan, I will be doing an Arsenal Q&A today, and I've asked some questions on my Instagram. The first question is from Arsenal Graphics. If you had to keep one of Willock or Guendouzi, who would you keep? Me personally, I would keep Guendouzi, and that's only because he has more experience. And if I had to keep either, I'm going to think about now, because right now Arsenal are struggling a lot more, and I feel like we can work on our youngsters in the future. But right now, to get into the position, we have to be back into the Champions League. We need more experience, and playing someone like Willock, who is a very good player and had a great preseason, to play him constantly throughout the season, I think would be a real risk. Where Guendouzi played really well for a lot of last season and was a really good youngster for Arsenal. So I would definitely want to keep him in the side because he's looking like something special. But he just lacks a little bit of defensive minded, which Unai Emery wants from him. Okay, the second question is, who is the most overrated Arsenal player in the world by World of Arsenal? In my in my opinion, I think Mkhitaryan is the most overrated Arsenal player. Don't get me wrong, he started off very well, got a lot of assists on his debut, and well, we know he is a proven player within football. However, at Arsenal, he hasn't really done enough. He has earned a lot of money to be sitting on the bench, and he has had an issue with a couple of injuries, but I still think he needs to be racking up the goals a lot more often and getting a few more assists if he wants to make it into this challenging Arsenal side, especially over players such as Pepe. Okay, the next question is, where do I think Arsenal will finish at the end of the season? So I think that Arsenal will finish. I think Arsenal will finish in third, and this is just an optimistic Arsenal fan opinion. Tottenham are very good this season. Liverpool are good this season. Man City are good this season. I hate to say it that Tottenham are a very good team this season, but I think with the signings that Arsenal have made, they have enough quality to finish in the top three. With Man City constantly making massive signings and playing so well with all the money they've received, I think they're honestly going to be a very difficult team to come against. And Liverpool as well, the European champions, they're a team that you can't expect to do badly this season. They look so strong and they haven't lost any of their players from last season. So I definitely want to see Arsenal in the top three. That I don't think that Manchester United or Chelsea are going to make it with Chelsea's transfer ban and Manchester United just not making the best signings, in my opinion. I don't think they have what it takes to finish in the top three. Tottenham, I think, are the only real challenger, but I still don't think they've done enough, especially with that Newcastle loss. You could see a lot of weaknesses in the side. The next question is from Arsenal Connected. Who do you think is better, Orbot or Laka? Now, this is a hard question that I hate to say, but I'm going to say that Aubameyang is more of an established goal scorer. He's scored for Dortmund for years. He's known for his scoring. He is a player that knows how to put the ball in the back of the net. However, I think Lacazette was our main man last season. His work rate was incredible last season. He was fantastic. He really helped push the team forward. And I think that if you want a clinical finisher, I think both of them are clinical finishers, but I think Orbit is more known for his clinical finishing. But Lacazette, in my opinion, his work rate and he's just all around is great. He's just been great the last couple of seasons with goals and assists both together. Orbit isn't really known for his goals and assists. So the next question is from Alex Evangelu. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. What Arsenal 11 would you like to start with? So personally, I think we should have Leno in goal because Leno is a great goalkeeper in my opinion. We saw that from the games against Manchester United, Tottenham. He is a player that really knows how to make some big saves and he's just a solid goalkeeper right now. I would play Maitland-Niles in right back because we don't really have any options. I personally am the one who says that Maitland-Niles is not a defender. He's a fantastic winger. He's a great youngster coming through, but I just don't think he's a defender. But for now, he has to take that role. There's not really much we can do about it, and he can help in attack when we're moving forward on the counter against Tottenham, like next game. I think David Luiz and Socrates are two defenders that we have to take advantage of. They both have a lot of experience. Socrates can be a bit he can be a bit over the top at times with his tackles and going for some really bad tackles and lose his head, which he needs to work on. David Luiz the same, he can lose his head sometimes, but they're the sort of players we want in a team, some players that show some passion, and they just show their passion for not wanting the ball in the back of the net. And I think that's perfect for the team. They just need to work on making less mistakes and just not getting too heated in the moment. Then I think that we have to play Kolasinac in left back until Tierney comes in from his injury. I think Kolasinac is going to hold up. It looks like Monreal's on his way out of Arsenal as it is anyway. In midfield, I'm going to say we line up with Torreira, who's already looked so good against Liverpool when he came on. He changed the game up, in my opinion. He added that defensive and attacking threat. He was great, in my opinion. He was great last season, and his work rate is incredible. So I think he's definitely a player we need in there. I think we need Ozil in attacking mid. Yeah, Ozil's been lazy and has received a lot of criticism recently and over the years, but I still think that he's got so much creativity, and that's exactly what we need when we've got these great attacking forwards up front. They need that final perfect ball to help them score the goals. Like, they can't all do it themselves. So I think Ozil's creativity would really help. And then we could either play Ceballos in midfield, who is a great midfielder, or we could use him when the team gets a bit more tired. He could be more of a threatening player off the bench. When the opposition gets a bit more tired, he can run through. He has some great skill moves. He has a lot of pace. He's very good with dribbling. But then we got Guendouzi on the bench and Willock, who looks good, who can definitely hold up. But I maybe would play Ceballos if we're too open in the back because we don't have our midfielders pushing back. Then maybe we should bring in maybe we should bring in Guendouzi to help that. Then I think on the left we have to play Orba and Laka in strike and Pepe on the right wing. What a dangerous attack that is. Pepe scored a lot of goals last season. I think it was 22 goals. He was fantastic in the Liga last season. Orba, Golden Boot, he's known for scoring. He's a great finisher. And he playing on the left with Lacazette. Those two have an amazing link-up. They got so many goals and assists between them last season. They're fantastic together. They're made for each other. And their connection between them, their bromance, just helps them like on and off the field. Okay, the next question. Who's your favourite Arsenal player ever? Now, that one has to be Thierry Henry. I mean, that man's a legend. He's scored so many goals for Arsenal. He broke records for Arsenal. We won the Invincibles with him in our team. He was just an amazing striker. And, I mean, we've got Laka and Orba who look like they could be the next big striker for Arsenal. And I think that I feel like Thierry Henry will always go down as an Arsenal legend and a big player for Arsenal, and he deserves that statue outside the stadium. Okay, another question from Arsenal fan page team update. Do you think Eddie Nketiah can start for us next season? So I don't think that he can start for us next season. Honestly, I'm very impressed with Nketiah in pre-season. I'm very impressed with him for Leeds at the start of the season. He's been banging a lot of goals and he's been very impressive. But I definitely don't think he'll be a starter. I think he deserves more game time in off the bench, or maybe depending if we're in the Europa League or Champions League next season, I definitely feel like he deserves the odd start or maybe subbed on late in the game. He's very fast, quick dribbler. I definitely feel like he'd be a great super sub to make, but I don't think he's ready yet to start for an Arsenal side that are competing for the title.